friends. Today we are going to talk about putting our trust in God. To begin, I thought we could start by doing some brainstorming. I would like you to pause the video and brainstorm 5 things people need to survive. If you are watching with a friend, feel free to share your ideas out loud too. Here are some things I thought of. People need water. And we know God Himself will provide. People need food. Wow, this is making me hungry. And we know God Himself will provide. People need love. I know I need a hug every now and then. And we know God Himself will provide. Today's Bible story is about Abraham and Isaac and how they trusted in God. And we will notice God Himself always provides. As I tell you what happened, I need your help. When I put my hand up to my ear like this, I want you to say in your most surprised voice, say, "What?" Let's begin. When Abraham and his wife Sarah were almost 100 years old, they had a son named Isaac. Say, "What?" God told Abraham that he was going to have lots of grandchildren and great-grandchildren through his son Isaac. One day, God spoke to Abraham and told him to take Isaac up on the mountain and give God the thing that he loved more than anything. Say, "What?" So Abraham took Isaac and they started up the mountain. On the 3rd day, Abraham told Isaac that they were going to build an altar and offer a sacrifice to God. Isaac said to his father, "The fire and the wood are here, but where's the lamb for the offering?" Say, "What?" Abraham answered Isaac and said, "God will provide the lamb." They kept walking until they arrived at the place where God had told them. Then Abraham arranged an altar. Abraham was ready to give God the thing he loved the most. Say, "What?" Then Abraham looked and saw a ram caught by his horns in the thicket. Say, "What?" So Abraham took the ram and offered it as a sacrifice to God. Abraham had faith in God and trusted Him completely. And God provided the lamb just as Abraham had told Isaac that He would. When we put our trust in God, God always provides. Our memory verse this week comes from Genesis chapter 22, verse 8. It says, "Abraham answered, 'God Himself will provide the lamb for the burnt offering, my son.' And the two of them went on together." Today we are going to memorize one part. God Himself will provide. Let's try it with some motions. When we say God Himself, let's point up and don't forget that cheesy grin. When we say will provide, we are going to take our hands and make a motion like this. Let's try it from the top. God Himself will provide. Great job. Now it's time for a fun fact. Did you know that God called Abraham the friend of God? They were that close. But Abraham did not always pass the test for having great faith. 2 different times, Abraham was afraid, and so he lied. He said that his wife Sarah was his sister, and God had to correct Abraham. Abraham had a lot to learn about having faith in God. In our lesson today, God wanted to know if Abraham loved him more than he loved Isaac. So God tested Abraham, and Abraham passed the test. Can you help me? I was reading my Bible and stumbled across a verse in Hebrews. Hebrews 11:6 says, "Without faith it is impossible to please God, because anyone who comes to Him must believe He exists, and He rewards those who earnestly seek Him." How can we have that kind of faith? We have to trust God and His promises, just as Abraham did. Let's take a minute now to pray that God will help us have this great trust in Him too. Please bow your heads and close your eyes while I say a few words. Dear God, thank You for teaching us that You will always provide. Thank you for the example that Abraham gives us. May we trust in you always. It's in your Son's name we pray. Amen. Before we end our time together today, let's review our memory verse one more time. Genesis 22:8 says, Abraham answered, God himself will provide the lamb for the burnt offering, my son. And the two of them went on together. Repeat after me. God himself will provide. God himself will provide. Thank you for joining me today.